Today we are going to make a little mountain scene with some trees, some fir trees, and we're going to make this as kind of a paper collage, but there's different types of paper that we have going on. So you'll need your background. I'm choosing a nice blue background. You'll need some scrap paper, some white scrap paper, because we are going to make it kind of a wintry scene. And you'll need some heavier paper, preferably cardstock or construction paper. And then you'll need some colored tissue paper, and I have 3 different colors of green here. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to make my snow kind of down here at the bottom. So a fun activity to do for little ones is to take the paper and kind of just rip it, because then you can create these fun hills that look like snow-covered hills. So then you can go ahead and just glue those down. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just kind of get a nice little snow-covered hills here. There we go, and you can overlap them however you want. Okay, and then you want to get those down there first. Try to put your snow in the corner there. And you can always trim it over here or here if it's too long or too wide. So then, before I put my trees on, I do want to make some snowflakes. So I got my white crayon, and I'm going to put some little snowflakes here in the sky. You can do them as just X's with another line through it. You can just do dots, although it doesn't show up as well. If you want to get out some paint, you can get some white paint out and just do little dots with your finger or a Q-tip all over the page. Just kind of get a nice little dusting of snow. Okay. And then, so now I want to put some trees. So I'm only going to do 2 trees, 2 kind of medium-sized trees there. You could do more if you have a bigger piece of paper, or less if you want to do just one big one, turn to the side. But for this tutorial, I'm going to do 2 kind of medium-sized ones. So I have my cardstock here. I'm going to fold it in half. So cardstock is thicker, of course, so it might be a little bit harder for little ones to cut, so you'll need to help out with that. So you just need to kind of make a very tall triangle. So I'm not going to make it the entire page, because I don't want it to be too big. You want to make sure that you have your spatial thing kind of figured out here. So I made them a little bit too big, so I'm just actually going to trim them up a little bit more. Okay. So now I have trees that are about this big here. So now what I want to do is put that off to the side, and I'm going to grab my trees. So now I have my tissue paper, going to layer them together here and kind of fold them a couple times. And then I'm going to give that a little snip. So I've got all the different kinds here together, and we're just going to snip them all. Just make sure you have them into little tiny, not tiny, but little manageable pieces. So pieces like that would be good. So once you have them cut into little pieces like this, then you start to layer them on your trees. So you can work a little bit at a time. For younger kids, that's a little bit easier to work a little bit at a time, or for older kids, you can just go ahead and put glue on the whole thing and just go to town. So you can put them on any combination of these. Don't worry if it overlaps. We can always, on the side here, we'll come back through and we'll cut that off. So you just want to layer and layer, kind of alternate, and it kind of looks like a mosaic tree, a nice pretty mosaic tree. So we'll keep doing that until we've got our tree covered. So you want to get the entire tree as much as you can. And if you have some areas that you want to overlap a little bit, you can do that too. So maybe down here, I want to overlap a little bit, making it kind of look like a little mosaic. So do that for both of your trees. Just get them all covered with some tissue paper, any which direction, and make sure that you give them all covered, and then let them dry, and we'll come back for the next part to get it all finished up. Okay, to finish up on our trees, once you're layered 1 layer or 2 layers or however many layers of tissue paper you have on, once it's completely dried, go on the back side and trim it off. And so when you're ready, now we can put these on our paper. So one thing I forgot to mention in the last video is you will need some brown pieces of paper for the stems. You can always color it in if you want with some crayons too. You don't necessarily need more paper. You can always just color it in. But it makes it nice and it makes it pop. So I like to put the brown paper down first. And I like to kind of put it like this so it's kind of coming up from the snow. But you can put it wherever you want. Put this one up a little bit higher. And then we would just need some glue on the back side, of course, of our trees here. Doesn't have to be Christmas trees, but our trees, and put them on the bottom part there. And then you are almost done. Okay, so there you go. You can use this around Christmas time if you want to make these Christmas trees. Otherwise, they're just nice wintry fir trees to make a nice winter scene.